All right. Hello, hello, hello. This is Queen Sheila with the Line Dance Connection of Tampa, Florida. But now I'm here with you on Let's Talk Soul Line Dance. We have some exciting guests with us today. We also have a wonderful co-host. But before that, we're going to do our countdown. And then we're going to bring everybody in and we're going to have us a good time. So sit back, put your seatbelt on because we about to take off. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. We're back. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Soul Line Dance. I am your host, Queen Sheila. Today, I have a co-host with me. I'm going to bring her on, Miss Leslie Henry, all the way from Clearwater, Florida.
Hello.
Hey, Leslie.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's
It's
going on?
been a minute.
Yes, we missed you.
Usual. Almost
Yeah.
done with my entrepreneurs class. That's where I've been, in case anybody is wondering.
Yeah, we
But
missed you.
glad to be back. Missed
Yes.
you guys too.
All right. So we're gonna. I'm just so excited. I know. I'm trying to stay calm. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay calm. But today we have a special guest with us. Today we're gonna on our podcast. His name is James Carr Jr. Anybody know him? But he's also known as High Energy. We're gonna bring him in.
All
All
right.
right. All right. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Welcome, welcome. Great, and yourself?
Doing great.
Doing good?
Happy to
Good.
be here. Appreciate the invite.
Yes, yes. And I have been excited about bringing you on because, first of all, I'm gonna get to it. How did you get that name, High Energy?
Woo, okay. So if you've seen me dance before, like actually go in, not like with my instructor hat on, calling steps, but I'm just dancing, being free,
Yeah.
you could probably see the inspiration for the name.
Okay.
The
Yes.
founder of my organization is the one who gave it to me. I don't remember what she saw, but she texted me one day, and you know how you see words where maybe you can leave out the values, but you can still sound out the letters
Okay.
and get the word or whatever.
Uh-huh.
She saw something and said, so I thought about for you, High Energy. And I looked at it
Okay.
and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. So I sat on it, but the next few events I went to, every time I left the floor, the words I would get was, you are so high energy. Literally, those were the exact words, word for word. I kept hearing that. And so
Okay.
finally, probably like weeks went by, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take the name. I like it. But
Uh-huh.
instead of H-I, use
Uh-huh.
H-Y for hyper energy.
Okay.
And then I put the dashes between the letters to hopefully
Right.
help make people sound it out or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I accepted the name, made it official. I
Uh-huh.
heard the "You're so high energy" just once after
Okay.
that.
Uh-huh.
Never heard it again.
Never
Never
heard
heard it
again.
again.
Okay.
So I feel like it was the fate just telling me, all right, well, you know what, this is your name. I need you to accept it.
There
Okay,
you
cool. Now that
go.
you've accepted it, one last reminder as your official approval. Yes, this is your name. So
Okay.
the founder of the
Cool.
group gave it to me, and that's how I ended
Okay.
up sticking with it.
Okay. Well, I like it. I have to shout out my apology because I put high H-I, and you sent me a thing saying no, it's H-Y. You know what? You're right. It's H-Y. Like you didn't know what your name was. So I'm glad that you reached out and told me about that. So
Well, I appreciate you getting the rest of the name right. It's usually the NRG that people mess up.
okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so but we're going to start off with why don't you tell us something about yourself?
I am originally from West Philadelphia. Born but not raised. I was raised upstate New York. So been down in North Carolina now, little more than half my life now. And this is where I started line dancing. Met a friend of mine had been attending Lee Williams' class, generally is what we call her, she's the founder, and told me about it. So I love to dance. I came in, boom, there it is. The rest is history. I became an instructor. So funny about, I was only coming to class once a week. And I called myself looking for additional ways to get in shape. And then I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to try running. I messed around and started to try running in the summer. And me and the heat already don't get the best along the best. Right, exactly. So I was like, all right, I need to do something else for my cardio. Oh, why don't I just go to more than one line dance class per week?
Okay.
Messed around and became an instructor.
Hey, that's how it happens. That's how I'll reel you in a minute, you know. So are you an instructor with LDFF?
Yes, I'm actually also I'm now also CEO. So the general has passed on leadership to me.
Okay. All right.
She's still around dancing, helping out until I get more stuff established, like maybe an additional instructor or whatever to help me out, because we offer so many classes now. But I'm not only a instructor, I'm the head.
All right. So you're the CEO. Okay.
Nice.
Chief Executive Officer. Okay.
Right.
Man.
Chief Executive Officer, high energy. I love it. Nice. Yes. So Leslie, you want to jump in because you know I'll be asking questions all day long.
All right. So my question is if there's anywhere in the world that you would want to go and teach line dance, or you and your group go and perform, where would that be?
I'm gonna have to say on a cruise ship. I've had the invite. Shout outs to Line Dance Prince Carlos out of Richmond, Virginia. He's invited me multiple times. He does one annually, but unfortunately timing never worked out. But the more I got into line dancing, the more I was like, oh, I would love this on a cruise ship because I love to cruise.
Nice.
So I would love to take it there.
Yeah, nice. That's very nice. Yeah.
Ship. So it doesn't matter where, just that you're dancing on the water. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Good. So I saw on your page that you have a brother and a sister, right?
I do. I'm the middle child. Yeah, I'm the middle child. I'm the middle child.
Okay. Now, are they dancers as well?
So they do like to dance. My sister has been in and out of line dancing. Just life hasn't been able to allow her a more consistent schedule with coming to class. But she does like it. But dancing in general, my mom's side of the family, we all will hit the floor. The right song comes on and just do what we do.
Okay, cool. So, do you all do any other type of dancing besides line dancing, or just line dancing?
So, thanks to really, it's either line dancing or freestyle. Thanks to the founder of our organization, she's also a Chicago stepper. And then there's a lot of aspiring Chicago steppers in line dancing and some actual steppers, some of the dances that we've seen. So I've dabbled a little bit. I've had some lessons with Chicago stepping, but not enough to be at an event or something and grab somebody by the hand and say, let's go.
Okay, I was gonna say that would be me and you both, because I've taken like one or a couple of stepping lessons, but it's I like it, but I don't like it as much as I like line dancing. Now, and I like line dancing because you could be yourself. I mean, you could do what everybody else is doing, but you're doing it on your own. Your own. You put your own flavor. Go ahead.
Right. There's room for your own flavor in Chicago stepping, but there's a lot more room for your own flavor in line dancing. Exactly. And then with Chicago stepping, you need at least one partner. Whereas line dancing, worst come to worst, I can entertain myself.
There you
So,
go. Yes. Well, I'm from DC, and
okay.
in DC they do a lot of. We used to do hand dancing. Now, I've been gone 11 years, but hand dancing, which is more freestyle. Oh my God,
Hmm.
I love hand dancing. I haven't met anybody but one person here in Florida who hand dances or know how to
Okay.
hand dance. Um,
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna say that I'm can't not the person to follow in line dance. I mean, in stepping, you have to follow the guy leads the dance and you follow him. When they turn me
Hmm.
2 times, I'm ready to quit. That's why I don't do good with that, and I know it. All the time, no, that's okay.
And
I like
see,
it.
I'm the
Go ahead.
opposite. I love to actually spin, which is something
Uh
else you'll notice if you've watched me dance enough.
huh.
Um, I was one of those. So you ever seen the sitting spins? You're sitting on a circle and you got the wheel. Just turn yourself around. I was one of those kids. You give me space in one of those, you can leave me alone. I ain't gonna go nowhere.
You go nowhere. That's
Merry-go-rounds, anything that's fun and spun fast, I was with it.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'm
I
just
have
trying
a
to
question.
go
I
ahead.
have
Go
another
ahead.
question.
Mhm.
So, I met you, or I seen you, not officially met you, but I seen you on the dance floor for the first time a couple of years ago. We discussed in Augusta,
Hmm.
Georgia. What other places have you been to? I mean, have you been to a lot of workshops, a lot of conventions as far as line dance?
Yeah,
What other places?
I've definitely been to my fair share. I've
Okay.
been to Cali Jam twice with
Uh-huh.
J&J, James and Jackie. I've
Uh-huh.
been to um, I've been up and down the East Coast. I've been to Philly multiple times, so good to do that in my own hometown. Maryland,
I was gonna say you've been to UC
Virginia
Star
quite a
Wars,
bit.
right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
because
for
I
UC
seen you
Star
there.
Wars.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've taught there and just attended the workshops. I've been to Chicago attending. Um,
Okay.
I've been Georgia a few
Okay.
times.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, I've been around my fair share. South
Okay.
Carolina a couple of times. Augusta, when we met, that was my first time in that part of
Yeah.
Georgia.
And when
Mhm.
that was Cheryl's, right? Cheryl and Woodhouse dance, or was that at Wendy's?
That was
That was a
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
collaboration.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was
Okay.
Wendy's. That was Wendy's house, but
Uh-huh.
well, yeah, that was Wendy's event.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been
Now
to
I'm getting
both. I've
South
been
Carolina crossed up.
right. I went to Wendy's event in Augusta and to Cheryl's and Cheryl and
Hmm.
Wendy's in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
we
that
had a
was the
good.
one I was thinking about when I was like, it's collaboration. Like, no. Augusta was that was Wendy's group.
Yeah, that was Wendy's. Yeah. So you did it a dance or choreographed, I should say, a dance called. I just wrote it down. Clear Energy. Right? Is that
Yes.
yours?
Yes.
That's yours.
Yes. That's
Now
mine.
I watched that. In fact, I watched it today, earlier today, and I was like,
Okay.
now I understand. But when I see you dance, I already knew. I said, does he ever get tired? Just keep going. But it's good. It's not bad in a good way. I was like,
Hmm.
I wish that I could keep going like that. When I was younger, I did. I stayed on the dance floor and I was like, all right, let's do this. DC, everybody dances in DC.
Oh yeah.
Very-
Oh yeah.
you're very seldom find a for DC around DMV, you very seldom find a person that doesn't dance. Because that's
Hmm.
just our upbringing. So, but yeah, Leslie, you danced in Texas, right?
Yeah, I danced in Texas, and I actually started when I was 12. My father and I used to dance, and we used to dance. I don't know what kind of dances we used to do, but he said I was a good follower. I think he
Okay.
used to do a little bit of Chicago, but it was called something else,
Uh-huh.
some weird
The
name.
ballroom, maybe
Huh?
Detroit ballroom.
No, it was some weird name. I
Uh-huh.
can't remember what
Yeah.
it was, but it was something similar to Chicago style dancing. And I used to dance with him, and we used to draw crowds because I could like really follow him. I didn't know what I was doing, but I would follow him, and he would tell me all the time, "You're going to be a dancer. You're a good dancer." And like
Uh-huh.
now, my cousins and stuff, they joke around and they say, "You know what? We had to slap Uncle such and such because he started you with all this dancing. Now you want to do slap dance." I said, "I like to see that day when you slap him because my daddy do
Okay.
not."
Yeah, Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Texas is a place I would still love. Texas is a place I would love to go because I know who Pat Sell is. I've met
Yeah.
him. We've shared the floor, and he's invited me down there. But again, timing didn't work.
Yeah.
The line
Okay.
dance queen. I've never met her in person. Just communicated over
Okay.
social
Carl
media.
Williams.
So
Yeah, sure.
uh,
Yeah. So when I go
and
to
I know.
Texas, I try to find some groups. I've been to the Pat Sales thing, and I've been to Southern Connection, and then there's another young lady that was at Pat Sales event that I met. She has her own group, but I can't think of her name right now. But I've
they're
been to
in
those
Houston.
three places, and I really had a good time when I went to Houston. I have a lot of family in Houston and surrounding areas, and my mom lives only like an hour and 45 minutes away from there. So when I go, and if I have time, I try to find a line dance group in the area. But they're mostly in Houston and Shreveport is where I find most of the groups in my area. Because
Gotcha.
also Shreveport is not that far from my mom either. Shreveport is like about an hour and 40 minutes going the other way, like
Mhm.
northwest of where my mom lives. So I'm like, Louisiana, Texas border is where most of my family is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to go back. I want to step back just for a minute. The white people are coming in. I want to step back for a minute because what I want to do is ask you. You named a lot of cities and states that you've danced in, but I
Mhm.
didn't hear Tampa, Florida.
I haven't been there yet.
I
haven't been
did
there
not
yet.
hear Tampa, Florida. So, in saying that, we need you to come down in October 1st and 2nd. We're having our annual Urban Dance Symposium here in Tampa, and we would love to have you join us. We're going to have Kenny J. We're going to have Ron D. Hackett. We have
Okay.
Leslie, is going to be instructor,
Sure.
Rara. So we have a really good
I know Rara.
agenda. They all know you too. They all know you. So we'd love to
Rondi
have
is
you.
actually an honorary member of our organization.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
Rondi, I love
that's why
to see
you
him dance too.
you'll maybe see him wearing shirts that have LDFF on them because he's a member.
Okay.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, I was, thinking about it when you were saying like you were naming all the places. Wait a minute, I didn't hear Florida in there anywhere. So we're gonna
I
have to
really want to
change
go to
that.
Florida.
And
I've
we
had
want you to
I had
come.
my invites. Yeah.
Yes, we want you to come. Ours is in October, and not too many people I think do their. Mostly it's June's or early part of the year when most people do their events. Is that correct? Or hold their events. Ours is always
So
October.
it varies. So like Pat Sell tried to get me to come to his event, and it was the beginning of October.
Okay.
And for Richmond, Virginia, Mob Dukes, D&G line dancers, they
Uh-huh.
have a annual breast cancer awareness line dance marathon, and it's
Okay.
always that first weekend in
In
October.
October.
My group,
Yeah.
my group has been going and supporting them on a regular basis. So like
Okay.
thanks to the pandemic, that broke the streak because we've been going
Right.
for a long, long time now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Vegas Jam too is usually in October, right? I
was it
think that's when
October or September? That might
it's.
have been
I know it's
September.
close to ours. Maybe there's the yes. I know it's close to the dates of ours.
Okay.
And so that was why when you planning one, and I don't know if you've ever had like a big event like the Vegas Jam or something like that. It's a lot of work, and you just can't just get
It
up
is.
and go. You have to be there to all the contracts and things like that to make sure everything goes good.
We
So
host a monthly party, and that in itself is a little bit of an effort. Every
um,
now and then we'll turn one of our parties into a bigger event, like whether they were celebrating my birthday month or our founder's birthday month, or we did 10 years a couple of years ago now. So that turned into something bigger. But just off the monthly events, I can relate to those of you who put on these bigger ones because you have even more work than
yes,
I do.
it's a
And
lot
some
of
of our
planning.
students have been like, when are we going to have like a major event? And I was like, do y'all know how much these monthly things are? Do you know how much work this is? And you want us to do all of that?
Okay.
Negative, negative, negative. I mean, we've done stuff to turn it into like a weekend or whatever. Like when we invite special guests, like we've had John Woodhouse come down here, and several others, and we'll be like, all right, Cheryl and the rest of the South Carolina line dance family, a number of them came down, and it was like, all right, well, we're going to start Thursday. They'll be here Friday or whatever, and we just going to keep going all the way through. So we've done events that long, but as far as putting on things like to that magnitude, it hasn't been our thing. I mean, we'll probably do it at some point, but it hasn't been our thing.
And it's a lot of work. I'm going to tell you, James, it is so much work, you know, like ours is not until October, and I've already been like purchasing this, you know, making sure the centerpiece, what's the colors going to be. It's just a lot, you know, and then soon I'll be getting all of the instructors to send me like 5 or 6 songs that they, you know, want us to play during the big event on Saturday night. And so it is a lot, you know, it's a lot to put on one of those big events like that.
Yeah.
So as far as dancing, what is it that really is about being an instructor? What motivates you, or what moves you about being an instructor?
When you see how many people that you've taught, they're on the floor and they're doing stuff that you know they've been to class and learned from you, and they're just having the best time. Like it's I can relate to the proud teacher looking at the student and just being successful or enjoying the fruits of your labor. So that's what I get out of it. Plus, when I got into line dancing, I was like, oh, I would love it if, like, because I used to love going out to clubs and parties and stuff, and I would love it if it was more of a regular thing. So part of my being willing to be a teacher, an instructor, was hoping that one day I would be a part of making line dancing more of a normal thing.
And you know, it's really something that you say that, because I have been reaching out to people like Dre, the singer Dre, or the rapper Dre. I reached out to Steve Harvey. I reached out to Ellen DeGeneres. I reached out to Wendy Williams. And I'm looking for a line dance spokesperson. I know Steve Harvey had the D-Lo Shuffle. It's on YouTube. The guy that came on there and did D-Lo Shuffle. But other than that, I haven't seen a whole lot of, you know, line dancing. Like whenever you say line dancing, oh, you're a line dance instructor. I said, yeah. They said, oh, you teach country? Country is not the only type of line dance.
Right.
You know,
But that's what everybody automatically asks. Like I was telling you before, here in Clearwater, since I've been in Florida. And when I first start looking for the type of line dancing we do, and everybody say, well, you talking about square dancing? You talking about country? And I'm like, no, I'm talking about soul line dancing, off of R&B music, that type, Cuban shuffle. Wow, that's what I'm looking for, you know. But you know, some areas they don't know. They don't know what it is that we do. They don't know about our community at all. They don't. They don't get it.
Why? I mean, this is a good subject for me, and it's really serious because it's dear to my heart. Why is it that we don't promote what we like? They promote what they do.
Right. I don't get it.
So I have to ask, do they really promote? Because if I didn't go looking for it, I don't know that I would ever find it.
I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and I had on my shirt said the line dancer. He said, "Oh, you know, you line dance." I said, "Yes, I'm an instructor. You know, I have a group." And so he said, "Oh, you got to go to the Dallas Bull." And I said, "Why? What do they do there?" "Oh, yeah, they do the same thing. They do that country stuff, and they be hip hop." Wait a minute. Line dance is not country, but every time you talk to somebody about line dance, they say country automatically. They say country. Black, white, purple, green, orange people, they always say country. So I'm like, what do we need to do as instructors and leaders in the game? What do we need to do to get people to know that there is another type of line dance besides country?
I think we maybe need to just have more of a presence with videos. When you go to YouTube and punch in line dance, they have thousands upon thousands.
Okay.
We are in the hundreds by
Yeah,
now,
we are in the hundreds. Yeah,
but they've got thousands and thousands. We also need to, because whenever there's any kind of line dance presence, so like we have the Universal Line Dance page on Facebook. That was started by our community. But the country western line dance community does have a presence in there.
Right.
Now I think they realize we don't pay them but so much attention because we're just not as into their genre, right? But it's universal line dancing, so it's good to know that they're watching.
Right. Yes.
In turn, we've got the Urban Line Dance Connection, that database. They have their own database as well. We in turn need to get into the habit of documenting steps,
right?
Because they do step sheets and stuff. We should document steps and act right. It's not typical for us to do that, but we should document steps and actually put our work into their database.
Right.
They will actually pick up our work.
Right.
Now they may change the music, but they'll still pick up our dances. Just as we've done the same thing. We'll pick up their dances, but change the music. We call them crossovers.
Yes, exactly.
Steps may even get tweaked a little bit, but you can still clearly tell, okay, this was that person's dance.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we just need to do more.
Yeah, we talked about that in training as well. When I took the NTA training, they said we need to do our steps. We need to do the step sheets. We need to upload our work into the system so that, nobody is like taken away from us and we're not taken away from them. But if you go back and you research line dancing, I just did a research on it one time because I was going to do a presentation on the why at line dancing. But line dancing originated with square dancing. That's where it originated from. I think that's the reason why they have such a leeway on us, because that's where it really originated from. And then we started doing it like years after it, or putting it out there years after they did. They started doing it way before we did.
Wait a minute. I thought, go ahead. You go ahead first, James.
Okay.
So I believe they coined the term line dancing before we did. But if you look at the definition of line dancing, and then look at who has actually been line dancing without calling it that, I have to ask, have they really been line dancing first?
Okay.
Because like if you look at
if you put it in that perspective, then yes. We started, when they did, but I think as far as like putting it out there, I think they started putting it out there in their community before we did. Okay. Because I know like Zydeco in Texas, Louisiana has been out there like for the longest. The country cowboys and cowgirls, the black country, they've been doing Zydeco since the beginning.
Right.
I mean, they've been doing the Zydeco line dancing since the beginning. They got some line dances that we ain't even never seen before. You go to a trail ride, and I'm telling you, they be out there getting it. You will get lost trying to keep up with them.
Yes.
They have their harmonicas and they different instruments that they do with the Zydeco, and it is awesome. You guys have to see it. It is awesome.
Oh no, they've got quite the presence here in Raleigh-Durham.
Oh, they do.
Some of them have gravitated towards us because of course they like the music, but they recognize steps and go, okay, well, what are y'all doing where or whatever. So they've adopted some of the stuff that we have.
Yeah, but
and vice versa.
Zydeco here in Florida, I was like, what is that? I've never heard of that before. I was like, I got to take you out to Texas and meet some of my cowboys. Because I have friends that actually have horses. They raise their horses. They go on trail rides like all the time, like every other weekend or every month or whatever. They go on trail rides, and it is so much fun, y'all. They in the barn, everybody tailgate, everybody drinking. Sometimes they have meat on the grill, and they playing Zydeco music, and everybody dancing, everybody just having a good time. It is so much fun, so much fun. I mean, it may sound real country, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. It is.
I've been around them. I've been around them. They do. They have a ball. They have a lot of energy too.
Yeah,
they have a lot of energy.
They really do.
I look at what's his name, Dawes, the guy that made "Hey, take my horse to the hotel road." What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh, Nas. Yes.
Lil Nas.
My wife and
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My wife and one of my students, they made a line dance to that song.
Sorry. Oh, really?
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
There's several to that
There's
song,
several
but
different.
among them is made by, they call it Old Town Ride. The name of the song is
Okay.
Old Town Road, but
Road.
they call it
Okay.
Old Town
Okay.
Ride.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And we've
Yeah.
seen country western line dancers pick it up. We've seen a
Mhm.
couple videos.
Okay.
Now I have a
Okay, I have to
question.
check it out.
Someone asked me to send the step sheet for a dance that I created.
Mhm.
Okay. And no, it wasn't my dance. I'm sorry. It was I'm Blessed. They asked me to send them the step
Okay.
sheet for I'm Blessed. But when they went on YouTube, they couldn't find it. But this is my question. If I send you a step sheet for I'm Blessed and you don't know urban line dance steps, how are you going to do the dance if you have the step? I'm confused.
Yeah.
We've got to be able to speak their language.
Mhm.
Now, that doesn't mean that we necessarily have to always put our steps in their language, but there
Mhm.
needs to be some kind of a translation.
Right.
So
Okay.
it may be reference this to translate to country western steps if you
Right.
need
Okay.
it, if you're
Gotcha.
not going to use their steps. When we
Okay.
teach line dancing, we actually use their terminology.
Mhm.
We
Okay.
use sailor steps and all of that. We don't use
Mhm.
some of the soul line dancing terms
Right.
that we've heard. Now, I'll teach when I'm teaching, and I know the choreographer of said dance uses
Mhm.
different terms. My
Okay.
students are used to me saying, okay, now, if you're ever dancing around them and they're
Mhm.
calling it out, you're probably going to hear them call it this.
Right.
Right.
And
Okay.
during that dance, I
Mhm.
may at random call it what they call it, just so they get
Okay.
used to hearing the term. But
Right.
ultimately, we stick with the country western terms for the most part, unless it's a step that they do not do.
Okay. Like one I would say would be like cha cha to the right, when you cha cha to the right and then put your leg behind you, right? But they say that's called a Lindy,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But if I
Hmm.
told my students, okay, we're gonna do a Lindy, they're gonna be look, where is she? I'm kind of looking for her. Where's Lindy? So it depends on, like you said, James, it depends on what your students are used to.
Right.
And we have to, you know, I don't know. I guess for me, it's hard for me. Everybody tells me, well, you need to call the steps what they call it. And I have to get there. I'm not there yet. I have to get there
Right.
because I feel like if you want to learn our dances, our urban dances, then you need to learn our terms.
Mhm.
Why do I have to write it in your terms for you to understand? If I wanted to learn country western, then I'd have to go and learn what they call the this, the that, the other, and learn this stuff. I just have a problem where everybody tells me, "Oh well, you need to write it so in their language." Why? They're trying to learn they're trying to learn theirs. So
Mhm.
that's where
And,
I think that we need to get together on one accord.
Mhm. Right.
and I've heard that argument because there was a short push to try to get everybody in the soul line dance community to use the same language,
Uh-huh.
whether it
It
was
still is.
and there was pushback saying, well, I've been doing this for 20 years. You just
Mhm.
got started. Why do I need to use the terms you use? Why don't you use
Right.
mine?
There you
Right.
go.
And for
Yeah.
for me, my thing was I don't care what we call it, as
Uh-huh.
long as we call it the same thing.
Okay.
Right.
And it was still like, well, I'm not changing, I'm not changing. So I'm like, all right, well, cool. Can we at least get on one page?
There you
Right.
We
go.
call this a sailor
Mhm.
step. What do y'all call it? In Philly, you'll say CC. And out in
Mhm.
the Midwest, you'll say magic.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
call it a coaster step. Some people call it
Okay.
a coastal step. I don't know where
Yeah.
that came from, but people use it. So, I say rock easy. You say walk easy. Let's at
Really?
least just say, all right, if you go to this region, they're gonna call it that. Or if
Right.
you're around this genre of line dancers, they're gonna call it that. Can we at least get a translation going?
Right.
That's what I would
Something
like to see.
new. I was gonna say, don't laugh, but one of the first dances that I remember choreographing, I called the sailor step a Salem. because I used to smoke Salem cigarettes years ago. I thought that was the right thing. I said, okay, let's do the Salem. You know, we was Salem back. We were doing the right step, but I was calling it the wrong name. So when I went somewhere and I said, okay, let's do the Salem step, they said, what? I said, it's Salem. You know the Salem. They said, no, it's the sailor step. Okay, that right there. You understand? I mean, I laugh now because we're all constantly learning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something new every day. But I just feel like we as instructors need to make a push, you know, to let people like they will wear their stuff and now I wear the line dance connection most days, you know, because other than line dance, I still got my hospital stuff. Other than line dancing, that's the activity I do. You know, I used to bowl and stuff, but now it's just line dancing. That's all I want to do is line dance. But it just, you know, we just need to get it out there more. Let me tell you, when I first started 2013 being an instructor, I took a stack of cards like this with me every day because I have like the 3x5 cards and I have something on both sides. I would take my cards with me every day. I go to Walmart and my goal was I have to pass out 5 cards. And, you know, people say, oh, well, you know, I don't really do that. Okay, well, just come and visit us one time. I think, you know, it'd be good. Don't you like to exercise? Or do you rather go to the gym? You can come and dance and still get your exercise. But what I was going to say is we have to promote what we do and believe in it. You know, just believe in it. Because if we don't believe in it, how can we get somebody else to believe in what we do?
Right.
You know? So we really have to promote it. So that's how I started. And you know, I started, I remember it was my daughter, my son-in-law, and my 2 grandkids, that line dance class. And it was the line dance connection. And we were just rolling, you know, Grandma, how you think again? Okay. But you have to, everybody started somewhere, you know. Like you said, High Energy, you went to somebody else's class and they saw you and say, hey, I want to train you out to be an instructor. You know what I'm saying? Because they saw in you that you really enjoyed it. Because I see some people dance, they could be doing a step and then
like, there's no enthusiasm.
No enthusiasm. Are you happy to be here or do you not want to be here? You know? So it's like, I know I don't have the energy that you have, okay? But when I hear my song or I hear that one, you know, that one that moves me, I'm like, okay, let's do this. You know, I can put a little something extra in it. So, but we have to think about that. Have you ever went back on YouTube and looked at some of your old videos that you were in? And have you noticed the difference in your energy now and your energy then?
No, other than maybe whatever age plays a factor in.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, I'll see some differences, but it to me goes with the energy of the dance. Because a lot of our videos, we do some of everything. It might be fast paced. It might have a whole lot of steps in it. It might not. Might be a fun dance. It might just be something to be cool and mellow out to. So it varies.
Okay.
So, but overall, I mean, other than Father Time slowing me down here and there to some extent, I feel like I still have the same enthusiasm for it.
Okay. And what I meant, like, for example, I look back at some of the video. I'll say maybe when you learn dance, you know, for the first time you learn it and you're doing it with everybody and you're doing a good job, you know, you're doing every step, but you're not as confident. And then once you learn it, like, I know this one. Do you feel like you can put more in it then? And because I know that's what I do. I look back at some, I say like, man, I look like I was learning that dance. You know, you have that. It's a difference. And then once you learn it, you're like, okay, let's do that. I got this now. Let's go. You know, I'm with everybody else. So
I haven't looked at videos. I haven't looked at videos of ourselves and gotten that. But I remember looking at dances and relearning them to bring it back and maybe doing, I think I know why we didn't do this that much because I probably didn't teach it very well. So, or I'll look back and I'll go, I remember this was a lot harder for some reason. And I see my own growth and it'd be like, I'll teach something then And then some of my students would be like, I remember that was a lot harder. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I just didn't teach it as well as I am right now.
Okay.
So blame me for that. Blame me for that. So yes.
Yeah, that's funny. I told my class on Saturday, I said, never let a line dance intimidate you. You intimidate it with your unique style, you know? And I was talking to John Woodhouse, I think it was, we interviewed him. I think it was John, and he said something about dancing. Just because, say, like you're instructing, and this person over here, like you're like here, you know, because that's your energy. But this person over here is like here. He was saying everybody is different. But when we're watching them dance, somebody in the audience can relate to that person with that low energy because that's who they are. And I was like, wow, you know, that's amazing. I never thought about it like that because I get after my people. I say, look, we going to go on stage. We went on the big stage for the state fair, and I was like, y'all gotta, you know, you gotta put it on. You can't be up there just doing like this. You gotta do it. And I drilled them, but they did it. Because that's who they are. Y'all hear the feedback? There. Yeah. And I was like, y'all gotta just do it like this.
I'm hearing you play back now.
Wait, you have to hear. Is that me?
I'm hearing you again, what you were just saying.
Yeah.
The feedback. I don't know.
I'm hearing you play back now.
I know we're hearing the playback. Okay. Okay, Leslie, you can ask the next question while I figure this board out. Can you hear me, Leslie? Oh, can you hear me, Leslie?
I can hear you, but I still hear the playback.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know why. I can't figure out why. Can you hear me,
yes.
Can you hear me, Leslie?
Yes, but I still hear the background. We can hear you just fine. We still hear the playback in the background.
I know. I cut everything else off, and I don't know why it just started. I don't know. Okay, so you still hear it? I know. Everything else off, and I don't know why it just started. And you can still hear it. You can cut everything off. I don't know why we're hearing that, y'all.
Catching up.
That must be something with restream. I
Are you able to turn the volume down?
I can turn mine off. Anybody else got their volume up? We just started. Let me turn mine off. I do not know. But as we continue a question, wow. I do not know. We're getting there.
Should we go out and come back in?
We might have to
put us in the waiting room
because this
and then go out and come back in.
All right, it's gone. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, but we still hear the playback.
Now I can't hear y'all. Oh, wait a minute. It's me. There's something in my. All right, it's gone. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I don't know why that is. Okay, Leslie, can you give us, we're going to go into our announcements, and can y'all still hear me?
Let's go out.
Okay.
Let's go out.
I don't know what to do, y'all. I don't know why that's in there. I was trying to cut it down so it would go away. I think it's gone now. Is it gone? Y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can still hear it? Okay. I don't know what to do, y'all. I don't know why that's in there. Let's go out and we'll come back in. I don't know what happened. Okay.